kind of taking what you learned from last night's game and applying it tonight?
Yeah, I think we have a great opportunity here. It's honestly nice that we get to play another game so fast to kind of flush the last one. But overall, just come out, play our game to the best of our ability, and go from there.
What sort of sense of urgency or desperation are you feeling from your group right now?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're all aware of the timing and the playoff kind of chase. So it's definitely on our minds. But overall, I think as long as we focus on each individual shift and focus on the things that we can control, that's the biggest thing that we can do to help ourselves. So that's where our mental mindset is right now.
Given a long break, we saw and heard from your teammates last night. I mean, what do you anticipate ramping up and being at the speed and maybe the tempo that you need given the matchup tonight?
Yeah, we know they play a very fast game. Obviously, they're going to be in your face on top of the puck all night. So we definitely need to be executing and moving the puck to the best of our ability. We kind of know what we're going to get with this team. Obviously, you've seen the history with their success and things like that. So overall, I think we definitely have to play a good game tonight.
A whirlwind for Austin the last few days. What's your sense of him since he's been back with you guys?
It's awesome. You get to see some of the USA gear rocking around, some hats floating around and things like that. We're obviously so proud of him and what he accomplished, and super happy to have him back in our lineup. And he's our captain, so he's obviously a huge part of our team, and we look forward to going out there and competing, and trying to get ourselves back in this playoff.
Is it too early to realize what next week is? That there's a possibility that some guys that are in your room right now won't be here by that time, and I know in the past that's a feeling that gets around the whole team.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not a fun time of year for anybody. There's situations when, your team going really well and you're looking to add to your team, and then there's situations where it's not. And that's the name of the game, the business, and it's a hard reality to face for sure. Adds a little bit of extra angst during this time, but like I said, all you can really do is kind of hone in on focusing on what the things that you can control. And aside from that, things will handle themselves.
How do you personally deal with that, uncertainty?
Yeah. Like I said, just taking it day by day, focusing on the present moment. I have a lot of things in my life, hockey-wise, outside of hockey, to be grateful for. So I just try to kind of come from that gratitude perspective. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to be a Maple Leaf. I want to stay here and I want to play here. So overall, I think for myself, just going one day at a time and hoping for the best.
What's your fact you've been through it before, a trade, give you any sort of sense of calmness when going through this deadline?
I wouldn't necessarily say calmness, but I would go just based off of leaning off of experience from last year. I definitely would feel not as caught off guard, I guess you could say. So overall, like I said, I think I have a hope to be here, but with the situation, anything can happen, and it's scary, it's intimidating, it's anxious, anxiety ridden, but overall, like I said, you just control what you can.
What's your sense of belief, at least within the room, about the playoff chances
Yeah.
here, given where you guys are?
I think we've gone over certain things within the room, within video and things like that, with the conversations that we've had, and everybody's very engaged. I feel like we all definitely still have that belief within this room, and myself very much so included. I definitely think we can do it. We've seen some good spurts of hockey throughout this season, and we get on a roll here, and hopefully we can just start tonight.
God, what's the biggest thing that you have to play tonight, given maybe some of the lessons you learned as a group last night?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have to be urgent right from the get-go. I thought our first period was actually pretty good. Gave up a couple chances, and we just need to be better. We need to. We have to have a good start. We've had good games against these guys because we've played quick and fast and on our toes, and we're going to have to play behind them. They pressure hard. They play man-on-man a lot, and it's going to be a tough test. But we're both fighting for our lives here, and we need these 2 points here and continue to roll from there.
What is your sense of the mood like around the group? You mentioned urgency. Like, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I think excited. I think we have a great opportunity here, a great chance to get back at it. I mean, sometimes you sit there and kind of stew over it, but we have a great chance here on a back-to-back and get right back at it.
What did break do for you personally in terms of what the season's been like and kind of refreshing your mind before going into this stretch?
Yeah, it was nice to get away for a little bit. I think get away and get away from the game too. I think you put so much into it throughout the year and put so much focus and your family there's not a lot of family time. So I think that was probably the best part, is spending time with family and having that time with my young kid.
A trade deadline is hardly a new idea or anything that can affect players, but I wonder, is it something that gets talked about in your room, or is it blocked right out and you just focused on what you have to do here?
Yeah, I think we have a pretty veteran group that guys know what's going on, and at this time of year, either you're adding or subtracting or doing something like that. So we can only control what we can do out there, and that's to try and get a couple wins here before that time, and see where it takes us. So yeah, it's a really important time of year, and we're fighting for it. So we have to come out and have a really good start in this building.
Does going through what you did last year give you any more sense of ease as the deadline approaches this year?
Not really. No.
Why not?
I think it's you try not to think about it, but it's your life at the end of the day. It's where you live. It's where you work, and I love my time here. I love spending time with the guys here and being in the fight, and I want to continue to be in it with these guys. And but we have to start doing some things a little bit better and put some wins together.
Easton hasn't played since late January. You've grown close with him. What's your sense of how he's dealing with not playing right?
Yeah, I think he's dealing with it good. I think I've been through those stretches when I was younger. I was scratched for 11 straight, I think, one year, and it's hard. It's hard mentally, but he puts in a ton of work, and always the first guy on the ice. He's usually the first guy in the gym. He's putting in a ton of work, so he's going to be ready when he comes in.
What's your sense of Austin? It's been a whirlwind for him, and just having him back around the group. What are you soaking up? Awesome for him. So happy for him, and a great guy to cheer for, and someone you want to do well all the time. So it's just great to have him back and have all those guys back. Is for tonight?
Joshua will go in for Yarncroc. Yeah, that's the lineup change tonight.
What do you think? What are you expecting from Dakota considering the layoff?
Well, I just like the size against these guys for sure. I wanted to get a little more size in there tonight. He, like I said, he had a good week of practice, so. You just got to keep it simple and get his feet moving are the two most important things for me tonight. I'm sure he's going to run into a little bit of a wall at times, but just got to fight through that. First game in a long time for him, but excited to have him back.
Maybe you just touched on it, but just maybe his level of readiness given the layoff and your conversation with him about what he needs to do.
Yeah, like I said, he had a real good week of practice, and he got better and better as the week went along, more comfortable, feeling better. So, but again, this is different. It's a game, and he's gonna run into some times tonight where he's a little gassed for sure, but. That's just part of getting back playing. There's not much else you can do. He's got to fight through it, and I'll manage that and see where he's at and what he's looking like out there.
Would you say, or what's the message to the team?
Yeah, we got to have short-term memory a little bit, right? We got to learn from our mistakes in the game and what we could do better, but at the same time, we can't focus on that. We got to focus on tonight's game. Two teams fighting for playoffs here, and it's going to be a hard game. It always is against Florida, and so we turn the page and focus on Florida.
A year ago, you're going 7 games with these guys. They're winning the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
And you're coming off a pretty large season, and here you are, less than a year later, and both are fighting for your lives. How different are these teams compared to the two that played each other in May?
Yeah, they're different, obviously, than last year for sure. I think from injury level to just new faces, on both teams and different looks, but definitely a big difference from last year to this year for sure, in terms of where each team was at and what was going on and how the hockey was being played.
Easton hasn't played since late January.
Yeah.
What's your sense of where he's at, just with his development right now?
Yeah, no, and it's what has he got? 40-some games this year played for us. At the time I took him out of the lineup, I felt like he hit a bit of a wall. We won 3 in a row, so I kept the same lineup going into the game against last night against Tampa. It's decisions that I make as a coach, and I don't believe his development is getting hurt. I think he's improved, this year as the year went along, and I think he still has the swagger that's needed. He's a confident kid. Now, saying that, he's got to get in there and play, and that's our job to get him in there at some point here.
How do you do that?
Well, we got to make decisions on people, and that's basically what it boils down to.
It's a week to the trade deadline.
Yeah.
In the past, I don't know how much you had to do with Army doing what he did in St. Louis, or you what he did. How much do you get involved with what the GMs do?
Well, I think as a coach, whatever team I was on, there was always conversations you sat in on and listened to, and a GM and running people by you and what you think could help the team. That's always part of it. So it's no different here.
Do you sense it's weighing on the players at all?
I don't see that sense. It's obviously human nature to think about it, and there's, you see, if you look at all the talk and the noise and everything that goes on, I mean, it's only it can affect you, but this is part of being a pro. You can't control that stuff. That's just all, what people say and hear and talk about. You just got to worry about playing. That's it. You're a Leaf right now, and you got to focus on the game tonight, and that's it.